Hey, what's up guys? Soldier Knows Best here. So Apple has a new magic trick up its sleeve, and it really starts with this new magic keyboard that they just announced alongside some new iPad Pros. So the new iPad Pros have a faster processor inside of it with the A12Z Bionic chip, and Apple says along with the 8-core GPU that this thing has, this iPad Pro is going to be faster than most laptops. And with every update, as they make this iPad Pro more powerful, you start to see where Apple is headed with this device. And then some developers have gotten their access to the latest iOS beta, and they did some digging around and they saw somewhere in the code where it alludes to these new iPad Pros all coming with 6 gigabytes of RAM and also the new U1 chip that they introduced with the iPhone 11. And other new things include a new camera system. So they have a wide and ultra wide camera, which I expect the performance to be very similar to the cameras on the iPhone 11. And with these new cameras, they're putting in a new LiDAR system, which is going to be a depth sensing kind of setup here that will work a lot with AR. So if you like to do a lot of furniture planning as they showed off to see how things look in your room, or you like to do a lot of AR gaming, this is going to be helping with that. But this is really one of those hardware features that I still think we have a ways to go in terms of apps and other software really taking advantage of it, but Apple's just trying to get it in place to see how it really works out. And then you also have, of course, LTE option, but no 5G. I think they're waiting for the new iPhones for that. And you can upgrade the storage up to 1 terabyte on each one of the iPad Pros. And then you can also expect around 10 hours of battery life with these new iPads. And these will be available on March the 25th. And the price for the 11-inch will start at $799 and the 12.9-inch will start at $949. And as you upgrade your storage or add LTE, that price will go up, of course. And so if you've been thinking about buying a new iPad or specifically the iPad Pro, this is definitely a good time to get one. But if you're like me and you own the previous generation iPad Pros, this is not that enticing of an upgrade. And that's also the case because this new Magic Keyboard also works with the previous generation iPad Pros. And so I am definitely happy that Apple didn't restrict these new Magic Keyboards only working with the latest iPad Pros, which they could have done that, but they didn't do that. So you don't need to buy the brand new tablet to get this new Magic Keyboard. And so why am I excited about this Magic Keyboard? Well, let's look at everything it can do first. So you have that floating hinge design that's going to be connecting to the smart connector on the back of the iPad Pro. So it's going to be using magnets to keep everything secure. And then it also does have a full backlit keyboard. And then it also has a trackpad. Now the trackpad is where the magic happens, I guess you can say, because this trackpad really opens up a lot of possibilities with the iPad OS, the software that's running on these iPad Pros. So the cursor is actually pretty cool because it's going to be a circle, but as you move it around the screen, depending on what you have it hovering over, it's going to actually change forms. So if you do have it hovering over text, it will turn into that straight up and down line, and then now you can easily select and grab text and move it around. And this is going to be way faster than just trying to use your finger to do the same thing. And then also too, as you're moving over different, software buttons, it will actually change to the form of that button. And then when you move it up to the top right-hand corner where you have the little icons for your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth and all those different symbols, you can actually tap on that and now it will open up the control center. And then you can also move that cursor down to the bottom and it will bring up your dock. And then you can also use the trackpad to be able to initiate the split view mode. So now you can have other apps open up and now you can really get better at multitasking. So this trackpad is definitely bringing another level of kind of interactivity with the iPad Pro. And then you also have an extra USB-C port on the side of this case that allows you to do pass-through charging. So now you can plug a cable inside of that port and it will charge your iPad Pro. And then it also leaves the USB-C port that's on the iPad Pro open. So now you can plug in other things as needed. And so look, I think it's easy to see that Apple is catching up in some ways to the Microsoft Surface by adding this trackpad and other things. And it's better late than never, but we've been waiting for this. But I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to the software to really kind of show why this device is going to be a true laptop replacement. And because I think it has the power, it has that RAM, it has the CPU, the GPU for it. But I think if they eventually, and I'm hoping for this, eventually announce Final Cut Pro for the iPad Pro, that's really going to make it a great alternative to the MacBook Pro. Because when I travel, the only reason I'm bringing my laptop is because I may be working on a video project in Final Cut and I may want to finish it while I'm on the road, or I'm traveling somewhere and I'm going to be taking some footage and I want to edit it right then and there. But if I can use Final Cut Pro on my iPad Pro with the mouse and a keyboard and just have the full type of control just like I would if I was using it on my MacBook Pro, that is going to cause me to just take this one device with me me. And so man, look, if they were to announce that Final Cut is coming to the iPad Pro at WWDC this year, I mean, that would send a lot of creators in a frenzy because we're gonna be so excited for it. But I think that this keyboard case is that one thing that kind of points us to that direction, and just hopefully they do it. But there is a couple of things about this case that I am a little concerned about. And the first thing is going to be that floating hinge design and how well it works on something like an airplane when you have a lot of bouncing around and turbulence. Is it going to be kind of odd there? And then also the fact that it is going to be lifting your iPad about an inch or so off the case, it looks like. And hopefully nobody in front of you reclines their seat and you may run into issues. But we'll see how that works out when people are starting to travel again. And the second thing is going to be the price. So the 11-inch version is going to cost $299, and the 12.9-inch version is going to run you $349. And so that price point is up there. But the good thing is that this trackpad support, it's just built into the OS. So you can have third-party manufacturers like Logitech be able to make their own case. And Logitech actually showed off their own trackpad case, but this is only for the iPad and the iPad Air. So no iPad Pros right now, but that case looks pretty sweet. So it has a trackpad, of course, a full-size keyboard. And this case from Logitech even allows you to detach the keyboard when you're not using it. So you can just keep the back part of the case on the iPad Pro that's connected via the smart connector as well. And then that has a stand on there that allows you to kind of get around 40 degrees of rotation there to be able to get the right angle. So this case looks cool, but you can see that it is going to be thicker and not as kind of stylish as the one coming from Apple, but it should give you more protection. But we'll keep an eye on this case and see if it comes to the iPad Pro. But for right now, this Magic Keyboard case definitely has my attention, and we have to wait until May before we can buy it. So that kind of sucks. But as soon as that comes available, I'm going to be buying one, and I'll let you know what I really think about it once I get some hands-on time with this. So this is just what I think about the new iPad Pros and also this new Magic Keyboard case. What do you think? Leave your comment down below, and make sure you do subscribe and hit that notification bell. And like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.